Welcome to episode 17 of the Thelma Tapes, the Living Memory Association podcast. This edition is a fascinating lucky dip of brilliant memories from the past that haven't found a home in our regular themed shows. So we bounce from fighting for reduced cream cakes at Crawfords to first days at school, from tanks on Calton Hill to Leith cafes of the 60s, from working with hot rivets to the sneaky brown sugar gang of the 1950s. Back in time we go.
You would see these old dears hanging about at like 5:30, waiting on the food getting reduced. And it was normally, and there was an old man and two ladies used to come in every week, and it was for the cream cakes getting reduced.
Oh, right.
Now the cream cakes were expensive, you know, I'm talking like 50 pence now. That was what, 1970s? And they would get reduced, and one of our managers used to say, no, don't give them. They've got to get taken through the back now, what they call their shrinkage. And used to go through with a tray, with, you know, that would have like 6 meringues on it. Even the lads that used to work would go, I'd say, I've just left them on the top of the waste bin. And the lads would go through and eat at them. But you would have to go through, and this one particular boss used to follow you through, and he used to make you go like that with a cardboard tray to throw it in the bin.
What a waste.
And I thought, rather than give a poor old dear a treat, we're giving her a cake for 25p rather than, you know.
That's mean-spirited, that, isn't it?
And another story about that is, on the garden party one of our windows used to look into the Calton Road, and the taxis used to come and stand there, and the hobnobs with all their regalia used to come down, get off the number 1 bus, go round the Calton Road, get in a taxi to Holloway Valley. We used to shout the window hard up.
The first day at school was a dead loss, because my granny, her family were all up and she was getting money. She got me a green velvet dress made. I was like a sore thumb, and I'd rather been, I usually was like the rest of the folk, but she had me with green ribbon and this green velvet dress. And she even got me painted. I wish I could find that. It's a head. I don't know, there was something between my granny and I. I wasn't frightened, or everybody else was. She had to make people frightened her to survive. She had to. She was that size.
Right.
If she was 4 foot, she was lucky. I was getting nearly as big as her when I was 7. She died then.
They were called street orderlies. We used to call them scappies. But that's where they collected their pay. On a payday, they always used to stand outside, and we kicked up a row. We said it was a blooming disgrace that a man was standing in the street, everybody watching him getting paid. You know, we all kicked up about it at that time. And that was
down the Canongate?
Aye. That was a toll booth there.
So if you had eyes to see, it was grim, and yet we never felt it to be grim. When I worked in the ropery, because I was an orphan, the older girls were good to me. They were good to me. They bought me a voile dress. Can't remember the colour even. And it was summer, so they were going to walk along Princess Street. Princess Street was beautiful, I remember that. It was beautiful. One side the gardens, the other side lovely shop. Oh, now, what a mess.
It is.
It was beautiful in between the wars. There was Forsyths, Darlings, all the posh shops that wouldn't let us in, of course.
Was that the case? They really wouldn't?
Oh no, you weren't allowed common factory girl, you know.
So would they have had doormen?
Yes, I think. Well, there were either doormen. I remember them putting we opened the door and it was a woman. They knew we hadn't a hope of what could we buy. And all the stuff was really expensive. But as I say, I remember going into a tea room in Mackie's, and that lady was put out, and she looked beautiful to me.
That's the tanks we used to play on in Calton Hill. The tanks used to be in the Calton Hill, we used to play on them.
What were they there for?
They were old 1914 relics, and there was 4 or 5 cannons as well. But during the war they took a lot away for scrap and that, Ken.
So what were they doing on Calton Hill?
They were captured during the war, 1914.
So they were German ones?
Aye.
So why did they put them on Calton Hill though?
Just for
Relic.
Aye, relics. And the one of the cannons up there was the Mons Meg. It's in the castle now. Used to be the Mons Meg, and 3 other ones. One was a Spanish, one was a French, and I can't remember what they were. But there's only one up there now.
But that whole corner was the barbecue, and it was the usual. Coca-Cola was very much in vogue, in the bottles, of course, you know. And there was never Coca-Cola Max and Zero, and a lot of the university used that coffee bar. And of course there was a huge amount of housing up there as well, so the local people would use it, you know, people from the south side. Rather, you know, there was no point in Leithers travelling that far just for a coffee bar. In Leith it tended to be the local cafes that were run by the Italians. I stayed in the Kirkgate. The cafe right next to where I stayed was Mary Rocho's, or Michael Rocho and his wife Mary, and you could sit in there, you know, with an ice cream milkshake or whatever. Mary was very good at moving you on if you overstayed your welcome. If it wasn't there, we used to go down to Tobith Wine. There was another cafe down there. They had a jukebox, so that was more appealing, though we used to have to scrape the money together to be able to put, you know, something on the jukebox. I think it was about 6pence. We liked when the bigger guys came in, because they had the money to put in there. But there was a lot of chip shops. Albert's chip shop at the top of the Kirkgate. My first memories, they had a huge jukebox right in the front, and my memory used to be coming from the cinema with my mum, and we would go in for our bag of chips on the way home. And the jukebox, you could never see the actual jukebox because it would be surrounded by the Teddy Boys, all leaning, and I was fascinated with their suits and the colours. And I suppose when you think it now, to me they looked old, but they must have only been guys about 15, 16, you know. But I just thought this was so cool. the drain pipe,
and suede shoes.
What they used to call the brothel creepers. That's what their DA haircut, because the back was cut in.
Right. Duck's bottom.
That's exactly it. A duck's, you know what. So every wee bit community had their local cafe or whatever, or chip shop. Another chip shop was in Great Junction Street. We liked there because they had the sliding booths that could take maybe 5 of you on one side, 5 on the other, so you could all
squeeze in together.
You had to, because there was usually a queue up the middle waiting for the fish suppers. And they had a wee jukebox. They were the first one to have a wee jukebox on the wall, which was quite a modern
thing.
A modern one. Well, I went up to town. My mum and I went up the town every Saturday, and it was a milk bar in Chanwick Place. Right where, you know, where the Rutland Hotel is?
Yes, I do.
Well, the next wee corner that kind of goes in, is it a ski and do that's in the corner?
It is, yes.
That one that juts out above the Rat Pack bar was the milk bar. And I remember that being they had these stools that you climbed up on that swiveled round. So you would get an ice cream drink, you know, or an ice cream float, which would be like juice with a ball of ice cream on the top. And I was young then, you know. As I say, we used to go up to town every Saturday. That was where it is. But once we started going out on our own, it was the Pied Piper. The Pied Piper was in Charlotte Street. So, you know, when you were old enough that you would go away up the town through the week, you know, you only went to the dancing at the weekend. You know, if you had enough money to buy yourself a couple of cokes, you would head up. Or bungies. That used to be at Parliament Square in the High Street. We used to go down, now was it Flesh Market Close? Yeah, down there. Because that used to be a police station there. And again, you know, you would nurse a Coca-Cola all night. Just be sitting. That was an older crowd that used to go about there. My mum wasn't keen on me going there, just to feel you were grown up.
My job was a rivet heater or catcher. My job was to heat the rivets and throw them to the riveter, or sometimes I'd be the recipient and catch it and put it in the hole, and the guy would... So you had to be very quick and get this hot rivet in the hole. You're flung in the deep end. You're given a bag of different size of rivets. So the riveter will tell you which ones he wants and how many he wants. A charcoal brazier thing that's got compressed air going into it. Keeps the coals white hot. So he'll tell you to bury the rivets in there, and he'll show you the colour. It was sparkling like a sparkler. He'll scream, it's burnt. What are you talking about? It's burnt. You had to get this particular colour, to catch it. He'd take it out with his tongs and throw it, and the guy at the other end, I remember trying nervously put it in and let it fall, and I went to pick up my bare hand, just reflex.
Portobello, you know, the main area of Portobello where the police station is in the town hall?
Yes.
Well, the town hall used to run dancing on a Saturday night. Always great groups. It was groups then. You didn't dance to,
Yes, it was all
records.
live bands and groups.
And they used to have a lot of guest groups. And DeMarco's Cafe used to be on the opposite side. So we used to go down there, because there wasn't any drink in the cafe, in the dancing. We'd go down, and you didn't drink anyway.
No.
You would go down and go into DeMarco's. And you could also go there and get hot peas and vinegar.
Oh, lovely.
And you would get a saucer filled with the hot peas and vinegar for sixpence.
We have a Lancashire version of that. It was hot. It was a flat meat pie, although it was more potato than meat.
Right.
And very flat, and it sat in the saucer. And they'd have a little bit of gravy on the top and the peas on top of that, but with lots of salt and pepper. But it's
That's
similar.
right. You needed the pepper on it. So
Yeah.
that was DeMarco's. They had the place there, and they also had one down on the prom. Cafe down on the prom as well. Oh, it was a lovely cafe down there. A nice tea room part to, that adults could go into for like their afternoon tea, Always remember the window. They had a collection of crinoline dolls, just so high, all in one of their windows, Used to stand there for ages looking at all their beautiful costumes.
Oh, that'd be lovely.
But that was a Saturday if we went down. That was usually about 1963, 64 that we went to the dancing at the town hall. And they used to run buses down to Berwick-on-Tweed,
Gosh.
Eyemouth, to bands down there. So that usually was a late night. They tended to do that when it was maybe a Monday holiday. My mum would let me go down there to see the different groups. And I think there was Haggerson Castle, the caravan site.
Yes.
So they used to get a lot of named groups.
Big famous.
And that was, why they would run the buses from the Portobello Town Hall.
That was the old thing with the brewery water. We used to get all the hops and take it to the farmers, and it had a fire underneath, and the coal used to fall, and we used to have a tin can with hose and wire. We used to run there to get the coals in. That's enough. We used to make fires in the Calton Road, and there was a grocer's shop with big 4 windows, and we used to have the round fruit baskets and that outside, and one of the laddies used to go in for a halfpenny with the brown sugar to Mr. I'll find it.
Yeah.
Anyway, he used to have to go round the back for the brown sugar, and while he was round the back, the whole gang used to run down up pinch of tatties, run up the close, and they went down, and with the fire used to bake.
Nice.
Later we found out the grocer, he was also a special policeman. But one woman used to say, "You're not pinching tatties here." She says, "I ken." He says, "I know the brown sugar gang." He says, "I ken them." He said, "But I pity the poor souls."
A huge thank you to Maureen, Helen, Rose Minto, Willie Haswell and Frank Ferry for sharing their wonderful memories with us. If you have a story to tell of days gone by, please pop in and see us at the Little Shop of Memory in Ocean Terminal, Leith, or at our new branch in West Lothian at the Centre, Livingston. You can also follow us on Twitter at Thelma Scotland, catch up on our regular events and workshops on Facebook, or check out our amazing collection of videos and photos on our YouTube channel by searching for the Living Memory Association. Until next time, when we hear stories of sporting heroes, we bid you farewell.